This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use the discount code MacVoices. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner. MacVoices is at the SuperMeet in Las Vegas. I'm here with Matt of iZotope to talk about their RX audio repair software. Matt, it's great to have you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Audio repair software. I didn't know my audio was broken, or actually maybe I did, but I didn't know there was anything that could fix it.
That's a common thing we hear. People say they didn't know that they could fix it. So really what we're showing at the show is, as you said, RX, and it's a complete suite of tools. So that means every kind of noise problem you might have. So there's background noise removal, reverb removal, clipping and distortion from lav mics and camera microphones, mouth clicks and other types of interference. You can remove those. There's also, we call it spectral repair, and that actually just allows us to take the sound, make an image of the sound, and then paint out maybe a cough that happened in the background, or just kind of anything we can do to get studio quality dialogue regardless of how and where it was recorded. And that's really what we aim to do and what we're showing here today.
Now, it's intriguing to me because you mentioned a cough, all right? So we're talking and there's a cough and there's sound in the background that I don't want to lose.
Yes.
How do you accomplish that without just having a straight dropout?
Sure. So the way we actually do it, we have, as I mentioned, the module Spectral Repair. What we actually do, you'll see there's an image of the sound, and you'll see the cough because it'll be a few pixels that'll be much brighter than everything else around it, and you'll hear it and you kind of draw around it. We have these selection tools like a magic wand, a brush tool. You know, if you're familiar with the kind of visual editing paradigm, you'll just use those tools and you'll literally paint around the sound. And then what we do is we say, okay, this is the selection, so the thing you've selected, and then the algorithm will look all around the audio and say, well, here's what was happening before, after, above and below those frequencies you've selected. So then it resynthesizes the audio. So at first it takes it out, that leaves a hole, and then it puts back in audio that it makes up, that it interpolates, that it thinks should have been there had that sound not happened. So in that case, it's not so much taking out a bit of the sound, it's actually just removing it entirely and then just replacing it with what it is that you have.
So it's interpolating, as you said, what's around it,
yeah.
And it's guessing that that's what you want to hear and that's what you want to have in there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. It sounds simple and it sounds obvious.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things that once you know that you can do it, then you know your life is that much easier.
And you suddenly realize all the things that need repaired, right?
Yeah, and then your life gets that much more complicated again. But at least what we try and do is make it as easy as possible to use. I mean, if anyone is interested in, at the very least, trying it out, I'd encourage them to download the demo. If you go to iZotope.com/RX, there's actually a free 10-day trial. So you'd be able to download, install it, run the standalone software, use the plugins, hear how it sounds, and sort of go back and forth in that regard.
Now that brings me to a couple things. First of all, the demo, does it watermark it or do anything, or is it free to use for 10 days?
So when you first download the demo, for those 10 days, the plugins work as normal, whether you're in Final Cut, you know, Logic or what have you. They work unlimited for 10 days, after which they would insert silence. The standalone application, you just can't save or export. So,
and you've already answered this, but it does work both as a standalone and as within a plugin architecture.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost every module in the standalone application is also available as an audio unit, a VST, AAX, RTAS audio suite. So yeah, if you're working in Final Cut, you'll see it in the audio effects category. In Logic, you'll see it in the drop-down menus in the track mixer.
The obvious question, what kind of pricing do we have for this?
There's two versions. RX3 Standard is $349. RX3 Advanced is $1199.
And what's the difference between the two?
The main difference is, both have the same sound quality to them, but the Advanced version is the one that has the reverb removal, for instance. Both versions have a denoiser, but the advanced version has a dialogue-specific denoiser that runs in real time with zero latency, so you don't lose any sync to picture. And then there's a few modules in each in the advanced version of the software that have maybe a little bit more control in the advanced version.
And this is just one of your products. You make a whole host of audio tools.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have tools for mixing and mastering, music and audio. We have some sound creation tools, synthesizers, a whole range of different things that people can play around with.
Where do we send people to get the demo and find out more?
It's iZotope.com, so that's iZtope.com, and they'll find all the plugins there for demo.
That's perfect. Thanks for the introduction.
Thank you very much.
Folks, more from the Las Vegas SuperMeet. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Visit MacVoices.com for links, show notes, to subscribe, to connect with Chuck on Twitter, app.net, Google+, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, the MacVoices Dispatch, to stay up to date with all the latest MacVoices news from our front page or at MacVoices.com/newsletter. Advertising and sponsorships handled by Backbeat Media at BackbeatMedia.com.